Lester? You were expecting me?
Yes, Ben, you're exactly on time.
Well, as you requested. Now, the question is, what exactly am I on time for? I mean, I can see this isn't a regular staff meeting.
No, it isn't. I think you know already why you're here. I've just finished reading this. It's the therapy report Jack Egan sent over about your hand.
Good morning, Congressman.
Congressman, you weren't saying that yesterday.
Well, that was yesterday. Things look a bit different in the morning, don't you think?
Sometimes. Anything you know that I don't?
Just who Hugh Wainwright is now trailing in the latest Chronicle poll. We're ahead of him, Lee.
What?
By a commanding 3-point lead. See for yourself. And you can credit that overnight success to my announcement of your engagement in the paper.
Shall I go into detail about what's been written in the report here?
Oh, don't bother, like you said. I already know Dr. Egan's prognosis.
Well, you've regained 80% of the movement in your hand. In a way, that is encouraging.
Encouraging.
Well, yes, considering the nature of the wound. Jack performed very extensive surgery.
I'm well aware of that. Lester, why don't you just get to the point? It would save us both a lot of time.
I guess it would at that. You're a surgeon, Ben. An excellent one, in my opinion. But I don't see how you can continue with only one good hand.
That's putting it bluntly.
You did ask me to come to the point. But there's more. I think it would be in your best interest to take a leave of absence from Kingsley General.
I see.
Right now, I'm thinking in terms of an indefinite leave.
Oh?
Well, it's not as though you would be abandoning medicine altogether. After all, you still have the clinic.
Yes, that is true. But as you know, I've been thinking about specializing in internal medicine here.
Well, I know that. But all the staff positions are already filled. Well, you knew that, didn't you?
I do now.
I'm not trying to throw you a curve, Ben. When I talk about an indefinite leave, the door is still open, possibly, for an appointment in the future. Something in internal medicine sounds fine to me.
But the position isn't a guaranteed one.
Oh, you know my policy, Ben. I never guarantee any doctor his position on staff here.
Well, maybe we should drop all this business about leave of absence. Why don't I just submit my resignation?
Oh, I don't think that's necessary. As long as you stay out of the operating room.
Incredible.
And all because of Idiot Boy here, remember?
I have jumped out ahead of Wainwright already.
Yeah, that 3-point lead makes a total of 5 percentage points you've gained to come from behind.
I didn't expect this until, well, at least until the end of next month at the earliest.
Yeah, well, then I'll repeat myself. That engagement announcement is what did the trick.
The premature announcement.
So she hasn't said yes yet.
And I'm not certain now if she ever will. Come on, Sebastian. Maybe you're being a little bit premature. I mean, how do you know I jumped out ahead of Wainwright simply because I asked Kate to marry me?
Because there's proof. Every single person that comprises those 5 percentage points. Read the article, Lee. Oh, better yet, read that paragraph there. Well, go ahead.
Of the households interviewed, 82% preferred Carruthers as the ideal representative. As one housewife who wished to remain anonymous put it, how can you not vote for a man smart enough to be president and handsome enough to win Kate Phillips? Winning the election should be his wedding present. Congratulations. Anonymous housewife, huh? Are you sure it wasn't one of your own relatives?
Positive. I couldn't have paid her to express it better.
Yes. And I wonder what her opinion of a broken engagement will be, because that is still a possibility in case you have forgotten.
I have. On purpose.
Sebastian, I have never known you to avoid reality.
No, but you have known me to turn it to our advantage.
Light at the end of the tunnel?
A flashlight, but enough to get us out of the dark.
I'm listening.
You can still convince Kate to marry you. Now, come on. She hasn't gone public to retract that engagement now, has she?
No, she hasn't, but it's only a matter of time.
That's right, time. To give us. Until she decides whether or not she wants to become Mrs. Lee Carruthers.
So, in the public's eye, we would still be the engaged couple.
And racking up those points ahead of Wainwright. It's worth a try, Lee. Look, Kate wants you to be a congressman just as badly as you do, despite her being upset momentarily.
Momentarily, he says.
Now, wait a minute. I took the blame for that, remember? By the way, did you tell her that you'd fired me?
Oh, no. If she found out that I was lying and that you were working out of your home, that would add insult to injury. Besides, with these increased percentages, I think I might be able to convince her that your blind zeal worked.
Well, whatever you have to do to convince her, do it. Now, I have to go over some voting figures with Andrea. But why don't you give Kate another call?
Yeah, I think I will.
Fine. Let me know how it works out.
Hello.
Kate, hello, it's Lee. Kate, are you there?
Yes, Lee.
Good. Because we need to discuss something very important.
Take another deep breath. That's fine. Do you have any pain in your chest?
No, it's just a little sore still.
Well, that's to be expected. I brought along a couple of souvenirs to remind you while you're still sore there.
Souvenirs?
Put out your hand. One of those we found about an inch above your heart, and the other was lodged in the middle of your lobe. You recognize them?
I should. Lance had my name on them.
You know, when they wheeled you into the OR with those in you, I didn't think it was going to be worth going in after them. Ben told me that you lost all vital signs once in the ambulance.
Yeah, for over a minute. Never forget what happened either.
Well, needless to say, you pulled through the surgery. We doctors have a borrowed term for patients like you.
What is it? Is that a Latin word? I'll have to look up one of my old medical dictionaries.
No. It's called a miracle.
Yeah, that's what Marianne calls it. She says I've been given a second chance.
Well, go for it. That's a rare opportunity.
Yes. Yes, it is.
I'll let you in on another secret.
Yeah?
I never wanted to see you in this hospital again.
Understandable. Considering my reign of terror as Lewis's assistant.
And wouldn't you know it, you end up as one of my patients.
Yeah, how about that, huh?
So you see, I've been given another chance, too,
You?
to bury an old grudge.
Well, looks like
Again,
I'm
kid.
just in time for a progress report on our doctor.
You certainly are, Mary.
That's right. You haven't even told me the score yet.
And this one you're going to be pleased to hear. You ready to go home, Russ?
Great.
Is it, well, when?
First thing tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow, you're kidding? That's wonderful.
I mean, it's not bad, but right now would be even better. Is there any reason why I can't?
No, except for some paperwork requiring my signature. You're really that eager to go, aren't you?
What do you think?
I think that it could be arranged.
Really?
I'll start work on it right now.
Thanks a bunch.
Great.
Don't let me forget anything, okay?
Oh, okay. You got your Bible?
Yeah, it's in here.
Very good.
Thank you.
Who was Cleaver Dillon?
Cleaver who?
Says Russ Buddy Boy. Heard you got hit after all. Hope your doc sews you up without no leaks. P.S. Found this card at our favorite store.
Yeah, that was CD. Guy used to live on the street. He was helping me get food when Lance was after me. The favorite store he was talking about? The string of trash cans that he lived out of.
Yeah, here's what you've been waiting for, Russ.
All right, so get out of here.
Almost. Now, the release forms are all in order, but you still need to stop by the business office.
More paperwork.
Just to set up some special terms about his bill.
My bill. Yeah, man, I should have had medical coverage on my last job. It's a risky one.
Dr. Greeley, can't all this red tape wait?
Oh, I'm afraid not, Marianne. Russ really needs to talk to one
No,
of the
don't worry about it.
clerks.
I'll take care of it all. I think I got an inheritance coming from Vince's estate. But I don't want to talk about that. I want to get out of
Hey,
here.
now,
That's
hold on just a minute. You're forgetting one thing.
I thought we thought of everything.
Everything except the final step in getting discharged from this hospital. Now, Russ, I'm going to send in a nurse's aide with the wheelchair for
No,
you.
listen, Doctor, I don't need that. It's okay, really.
Now, listen.
No, really, I
I'm
don't
sorry, that's the way it is. You know the rules.
I can walk. Oh, okay.
Wise decision.
But look, I want to make a stop before we get to the business office.
Go and say goodbye to a fellow patient.
No, nothing like that.
I have the whole morning off, so we don't have to eat and run.
Oh, perfect. I have some fresh squeezed orange juice. How about it?
Sounds great.
Wonderful. One orange juice coming up. You know, Stacy, Amber talked me into joining her health club.
Did she?
I suggested she recruit you too.
Mom,
Yes, dear.
your phone's off the hook.
I know it is.
Well, shall I put it back on?
No. I wanted to stay off for a little while.
Your last call must have been an experience. Anyone I know?
It wasn't your father, if that's what you're afraid of.
Well, who was it then?
It was Lee, and I don't want to discuss it.
Did you let him have it again with both barrels?
No, I didn't.
Well, he deserves it for this engagement scheme he dreamed up.
I don't want to talk about it. Now drink your orange juice.
Well, if you don't want to talk about Lee, let's move on to your alleged engagement.
I want to delete that subject, too.
Have you talked to Gene yet about retracting the announcement? He said he'd make it top priority.
Well, there wouldn't be a need for a retraction if the gentleman had talked to me first.
I reminded him of that. But, Mom, Lee and Sebastian Knight did set him up.
Now get your facts straight, dear. Lee had nothing to do with putting that article in the Chronicle. That, my dear, was Sebastian's idea.
Well, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. What's important is that it be corrected.
Well, it will be in due time.
Do you mind explaining what you mean by in due time? Kingsley's elite, I'm sure, are already planning a whirl of engagement parties for you two. The announcement even shot him ahead in the polls.
But that's a problem. If I asked for a retraction on our so-called engagement, his new lead would decline drastically.
Is that what he told you?
Yes, and it makes sense. A broken engagement is a reflection on his personal life. And that's been one of his weakest points in this campaign, his bachelor image. That's why Sebastian jumped the gun.
What the public thinks of Lee Carruthers is not your responsibility.
Yes, it is. If I can help him win this election. Now, Stacy, whether you like him or not, he is still the best choice for this congressional seat.
Mom, that's debatable.
Hugh Wainwright is a gifted administrator. But when it comes to pushing through needed legislation like federally subsidized and free abortions, or ERA the next time round, Lee is the man to do it. So I promised him that I wouldn't ask for a public retraction for the time being.
What about Dad? What have you promised him? You owe him an explanation.
He already knows that we are not engaged, and I'll talk to Dave later. If you don't get to him first.
Or Amber.
Well, personally, I think we ought to just come right out and ask him what's wrong.
Just because the man came in whistling to work this morning. So Dr. Phillips is in a good mood.
A good moon is more like he had a 100-watt bulb lit up inside of him. You think it has anything to do with Kate Phillips?
Oh, I wouldn't know.
Now you gonna tell me you're not the least bit interested?
Am I going to ask him or are you?
Well, I don't know. Maybe we should.
Okay. Okay, Ione, hold on. Who's next?
Oh, it's the Collini twins, but they're not here yet.
Oh, well, then I'll take whoever's been waiting.
That's us, Dr. Phillips.
You. Two.
We are suffering from a case of acute curiosity.
That flares up every time we look at you.
And I'm the carrier.
And the cure.
And we're here for our medicine.
Oh, you are? Might I ask what I'm prescribing?
Well, we'd rather ask, how come you so happy?
Me? Happy?
Well, I mean, we haven't seen you this happy around here in a long time.
You mean it's that noticeable?
It sure is.
Well, Kate and
I told you, didn't I tell
Will
you?
you? Shush and let the man talk.
Well, let me just say that whatever you read in the newspapers about Kate and Lee Carruthers isn't true.
Oh, hallelujah!
That's using her head, isn't it?
I tell you.
Isn't that the truth, Dr. Martin?
What?
Well, it seems like there might be a wedding in Dr. Phillips' future to the woman who's supposed to marry Lee Carruthers.
Congratulations. Could I see Mr. Roseman's chart, Ione?
Listen, I know I don't have an appointment. Do you mind if I come in?
Well, yes, of course.
Great. Listen, why don't you just wait here?
Well, Russ, sit down.
No, thanks. Listen, I'll just stand if you don't mind.
As you like.
This won't take long. If I can think about where to begin.
Why not just say what's on your mind?
Confession. You see, when you fired me from the hospital here, well, I made a promise to myself that I'd get even with you someday. Even to the point of wishing that you were dead.
A majority of the former employees of this hospital share that wish.
Yeah, well, after what happened to me, I don't have that wish anymore.
That's a comfort.
I wouldn't want you to end up where I've been.
Where you've been? You mean up on the third floor?
No, never mind, you wouldn't understand. Look, I just want to let you know that, that I apologize for the way that I acted when I worked here at the hospital.
I guess I do find this hard to understand.
Well, you gave me a break, gave me a chance at a decent job to be your assistant, and, I blew it by trying to take your job away, and...
There have been others before you, Russ. You don't reach my age without developing eyes in the back of your head.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to say that I'm sorry.
Russ? I accept your apology.
Great.
Amber's probably on her way to the clinic now, personally commissioned by Lee.
She doesn't know that I've decided against the retraction, and I will talk to Dave, but don't you think it's time this bickering between you and your sister stopped?
How can it? We're in opposite courts.
With me in the middle.
Oh, we haven't declared war, Mother.
Well, I have on both of you. You two will stop at nothing until you see me married to the man of your dreams.
Well, it wasn't I who practically helped Lee pick out the ring you refused. Amber knew he was going to propose, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
Naturally.
But you would offer your father the very same assistance.
Why not?
Because maybe I've already made my choice. Dave and I had dinner last night.
You did?
Yes. We realize that all the years of marriage that we had together just can't die this easily, even though there are many scars.
Oh, Mother, that is so fantastic.
But we've also decided that I need time. We both need time.
You mean you and Dad
are trying to understand and work things out.
Are you still in love with him?
Love can have many dimensions, Stacy.
Is there enough of a dimension for you to marry him again?
Enough for me to consider it, just as I've considered marrying Lee.
Oh, how can you say that? How can Dad and Lee be the same in your eyes?
They're not, dear. But look, darling, let my relationship with your father take its natural course, and we'll see what happens.
All right, I won't interfere.
You promise.
I promise.
Oh, I didn't think that I'd have a truce this easily.
You have my word. As long as I have yours.
Mine?
That you'll do the same? Allow your relationship with Dad to have its natural course?
How'd your meeting with Lester go?
He suggested I take an indefinite leave of absence.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
Sounds like Lester Lewis hadn't changed one bit since I worked there.
You have another option, Ben.
Oh, yeah?
Don't give up.
And another one, don't forget.
Don't forget.
Well, that the Lord can completely heal your hand and turn the tables around completely on Lester Lewis.
I know you mean well, Ione, but I've already been through all this with Terry. I'm sure you can all offer me a lot of options.
It's up to you to pick the one that applies. And I know which one I'd choose.